All right, now welcome to SC Custom Designs. This is number 3 and the little mini series, the COVID table. I went ahead and took the liberty of putting in all the biscuits with the biscuit joiner. Look up session 1 or 2, losing track already, where we use the biscuit joiner. And you can also search my channel for using the biscuit joiner. I have a DeWalt unit that I use. So let me explain the situation that I have. So I found this piece of wood. It's all joined up wood. It looks like maple, and it's got a slight bow in it. So I'm exaggerating, right? So how am I going to get a straight board on a piece of bowed? What we do is we walk it down. So if you're in construction, you know that you can take a 2 by 12 by infinity, whatever, and if it's bowed, you basically nail one end of it and then move down. Somebody can be at the other end, and they essentially pull that unit straight as you're nailing it down. So that's how that works. We're going to apply the same concept-ish here, whereas we're going to start on this end where you can see that it's set down in the biscuits there. Remember that you should do what we call a dry fit. That is putting the pieces together. Make sure they're going to go. Well, obviously, this is not looking good, right? So all hope is not lost. I don't really anticipate this being an issue. And so let's go ahead and take this off and start putting the glue in there. Now I'm not going to glue both ends. I'm just going to glue the top. Okay, this is SC Custom Designs. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel, and certainly look up the series that I have on a variety of subjects. I've made some pretty fun things in here in the woodshop. Like the super cool coffee table. We make, I'm trying to think of the name of the leaning ladders. Made a lot of those. You really lose track. That's why you take pictures. We like to make bandsaw boxes. Those are a lot of fun to make. There's really no rules on bandsaw boxes. You literally create on the fly, kind of like this table here. You create on the fly what it is you're doing. So once you get the basic concept of bandsaw boxes, the rest is history. You're going to have so much fun, for sure. So look up those, the bandsaw boxes. I made a sewing table for my wife many years ago. Unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of video back then, but there is some video there if you look up the sewing table. And please interact with me. I like to interact with the subscribers and get your ideas. If you got questions, I'm very glad to answer the questions. And so, all right, so you can see I'm putting copious amounts of the Gorilla Glue on there. I'd rather have too much than not enough. With that being said, remember the tip that I gave you in the first video, I believe it was, and that is to not squeeze all the glue out that you just put on there, right? And rinse out your Gorilla Glue bottle. Just take this cap off like so, rinse that, and then rinse this. You'll be happy you did. I'll do that when I'm not so busy here. So that being said, we have our water there, and let's go ahead and we have all our clamps all set, pulled to the right size, because the last thing you want to do is scramble for your clamps the last minute. So it's a good idea to have those all ready to go. Okay, so you can see the challenge that I'm having already, where it's it doesn't want to go in, but we will win. We have our little mallet here, and we're going to use that to drive it in. There you go. Now I know that I have a little bit of a cavity in there, and that's really not a big deal. I could have taken the board over to the jointer, and I could have jointed it, but this really isn't a showpiece here. This is just something I'm throwing together for my office table, and I'm putting links down in the down the bottom where you can buy the stand-up desk that I have for that I use. Okay, so look that up. Okay, love pipe clamps because they are your crushers. And what I'm going to do is I've got this unit in the vise, and I can't get my clamp exactly in the middle. So once I get them on, I will go ahead and mostly on. I'm going to loosen it and center the clamps. Okay, and you'll know that this. All right, so let's go ahead and loosen that up. Sorry, I'm standing right in front of the project, aren't I? But there you go. Just move it out like that. I can loosen this and put it in the middle. Okay. I had one of my subscribers ask me a question. They said, "What is this when you're assembling pipe clamps? What is that extra spring for?" And the answer to that question is, it is for the bottom of the pipe clamp. I believe he was alluding to this piece, this here. That comes with the set when you buy. These are ponies, the top, the bottom. You buy the pipe clamp separate. And then there's this little spring here. You put that on the end with a thread, and that stops this from falling off accidentally. So that's what that is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and center this one. You really want to take your time when you're doing this. You don't want to have any surprises. Okay. And I will definitely let this set up overnight for sure. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and drop it back down in here, so just so that I can have my hands free. And then we want to get that glue off. Definitely don't want to have to deal with that when it's dry. Trust us on this one. And if you're new to gluing up, you'll know that this is the best time to get that glue off, especially when you have smaller projects that there's tight corners and tight areas that you just wish you got that Q-tip out. I just wish you got that Q-tip out and got into those real small crevices, because now you're faced with a problem where it's going to be very hard to get that glue off. You'll end up having to sand really hard, and now the finished product is just going to be, well, trust me, it'll be a mess. So get that glue off immediately. And then you want to come back a little bit. And come back in a bit and make sure that everything is off. All right, so that's that. And that being said, I do have an area in there that I can't get at. And yeah, again, you can take a chisel and you could chisel off that glue, but I definitely have had the occasion where it just didn't want to come off. It can be your worst enemy. Okay, so there you go. I also find that all sorts of things happen to you when you are gluing up. That's why you got to have a plan. As simple as this was, I had to think it all through, particularly the fact that this guy here is bowed, and I had to walk it down. But as you saw, it wasn't really a big deal. Let's see here. So this is a short episode. This is number 3. Next, we'll be thinking about the legs. I'm going to get some 4x4s, and we'll be tapering it. I have a tapering jig over yonder. Let's try to be real careful and take you over there. Apologize for the shaking. All right, so if we look over here, you can see the tapering jig. Sorry, folks. Sorry. All right. And there it is up there. I know that's annoying. All right, so it's here. That tapering jig sits on your table saw, and you just spread it out. It's still in the angle that I used at last. And then you just put the 4x4 or whatever stock and just slide the whole thing through the blade. Nice and slow, nice and steady. So that's what that is. We'll be doing that. I suppose I could have taken this off the little mount. There we go. All right. Thanks for watching this episode of SC Custom Designs. And we'll say our usual goodbyes. Take care. Let's kick this COVID thing, everybody. Wear your masks. Let's get it over with. God bless. Bye.